Hi, I'm Daniel Haug with Vincia Prep and Admissions Parallèles. And so right now I'm going to show you how to do a couple GMAT questions and also kind of some overall general GMAT strategy. So to begin, I'll read you the question. For what value of x will x times y be divisible by 210 if y is even and less than 10? So you see that and you're like, whoa, that's kind of scary. And so that's how it is with a lot of GMAT questions. You see them and you're like, oh, but usually there's a way to make it simpler well, actually there's two steps when you do any GMAT question at the beginning. You either simplify it or you translate it, or both. In this case, what we need to do is we need to translate the English into math. So let's read it and kind of translate it piece by piece. For what value of x will x times y be divisible by 210? So here we have xy be divisible by 210. So what we're going to do is we're going to take x times y divisible by 210. Oops. If y is even, so if you do classes, you'll find out ways to translate these things better. But y is even translates into y is equal to 2 times some number, and less than 10. So y is less than 10. All right, so now we have the translation of this, the translation of the second half, and now all we have to do is put the two translations together. So we put that together, and so we plug in the y here. So we have x times 2 times some number, it doesn't really matter which number, divided by 210. So here we translated, put the translations together, and then we simplify. So here we've got a 2 on the top and 210 on the bottom. We can divide by 2 on the top and the bottom, and so we get x times n is divisible by 105. And then the question asks, for what value of x will x times y be divisible by 210? So we're trying to figure out x here. And so what x would make it so I get a whole number right here? To get a whole number, the top has to be just as big as the bottom, or we need to get, a whole number. So what whole number could we put in here to make it so the whole thing turns out to be a whole number? And so if we look at our answer choices, if we put in 21, will that be a whole number? Well, maybe. It depends on what n is. But it's not sure. 100 divided by 105, that's not a whole number either. So we try 105, we plug that in, and then we'll see 105 times some number divided by 105. No matter what this number is, it's going to be divisible by, this will be divisible by 105. So that's how we do that one. So it looks scary, but it's really not so bad once you translate it, put translations together, and simplify it. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you get the practice, get in the habit of doing it, it's not so bad. So that's the first question. Okay, so if we have 0.06 times 0.003. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, oh, that's super easy. Or some other people are like, oh man, I don't really remember how to do that. Either way, not too big a deal. And you should still watch because you're probably going to learn something. So, when you do this, you count the number of decimals, 1, 2, and then here we have another 1, 2, 3 decimals. So our answer has to have 5 decimals. And then, so step 1, we've got 5 decimals. And then step 2, we just do the multiplication of 6 times 3, so, which is 18. Oops. And then we put these two things together, so we've got 18, and we're supposed to have 5 decimals, so it comes out to be this. So, pretty simple. Now, the thing is that a lot of people do this as 6 times 10 to the negative 2 times 3 times 10 to the negative 3, and then they say, okay, that's 18, and then that's times 10 to the negative 5, and then they write it as 0.000818. So this gets us the same thing, but it's just not quite as fast as doing it this way. And so most of the time the GMAT gives us pretty numbers to work with. So we want to use the fastest method, not just the textbook math method. So if you do it like this, you know, that's okay, especially if you do really fast. But usually this way will be faster. And so with the GMAT, it's not only about doing something correct, but it's also about doing it quickly. And that's a little introduction into simplification and translation. And that's all for right now.